What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the NEW Wrestling Podcast. A lot of wrestling stuff went on this week, a lot of pay-per-views, a lot of good matches, a lot of fans being irritated, all that. We're going to get into it. QJ and Tears, how we doing today? Y'all doing good?
Fans being irritated. Gee, let me just see. Is that another tally mark on how many times have I heard that in my life? Yep, that's another one. Okay,
Well,
I'm
mark
good.
it down. QJ doing good today? Everything good?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Well, we're going to start. I did a video. I'm not going to talk about it a lot. If y'all saw my previous video, the solo video on the channel, if you haven't, check it out. But if you have, I probably won't be saying a lot about this topic. I'll leave it to Tears and QJ. Becky Lynch won the Battle Royal on Raw, became the new Raw Women's Champion. Or not Raw, sorry. I'm not used to them calling the Women's World Champion. I apologize. The Women's World Champion. Ship on Raw. Yeah, it's still kind of confusing me because they changed title names and everything. But Rhea Ripley got injured. They did a Battle Royal. It was down to Liv and Becky, and Becky won. She did a rock bottom on the apron and won. So Tears, I'm gonna start with you. Was this the right move? Should I can't even talk right now. Was Liv Morgan the right choice in your mind, or was Becky Lynch okay choice for you in this match?
Okay, I talked about this at work with some friends of mine, and we said like it kind of felt like we all agreed like it kind of felt dirty to the sense to where like Rhea just beat Becky and then all of a sudden they give the belt to Becky. Like we did not like that part. However, I brought up a fact. You guys ready?
Yeah, go for it.
We do not know how long Rhea is going to be hurt, so I do not see if Liv was to win. There was no way Liv was going to be able to hold the championship that long without any plans. More than likely, Becky was just the better option, and somewhere when we get an actual date of when Rhea's coming back is when we'll see Liv get the title. But, yeah, I'm going to be honest, there is no way for Liv to be able, if she won, to hold the title that entire time with no end in sight, technically.
Yeah, I could get what you're saying. I've heard a few say like Liv's whole story is like she's kind of chasing. I forgot what the exact words she used, but it was like she's having like a road to the title, and she's not gonna stop her journey until she gets the title. And like a lot of fans were saying, well, she said that like a month ago. What sense would it make to have her win now? So maybe that's why, or maybe they're doing a story with Liv because I saw her and Dominic have like a stare down. So maybe her story is she's gonna take everything away from Rhea because Rhea took away everything from her type thing. But we'll see. QJ, what do you think about this whole Becky over Liv for the women's world title?
First, when I heard it, I saw it on Twitter. I didn't like it. I feel just desperate. But now you look at it, like Tia said, if Liv would have won, I mean, clearly it was building up a story. So if she would have won right there, kind of the story would have been squashed right there. So I guess we just gotta let it play out.
Yeah.
Still mad about it, but we just gotta let it just play out, and we'll just leave it there.
Yeah, because like if you think about it, like you would have to make shift like so many things just to have Liv keep the title for when Rhea comes back. So that would have been just a cluster. Whereas when Rhea comes back, then you could plan Liv having the belt. Does that sound bad for Liv saying like, oh, you're just gonna have to wait till Rhea comes back for you to have a championship match? Kinda, but it's still the business.
It is. I mean, it's the business side of it. I feel like a lot of Liv fans are mostly pissed off, including myself, because and I don't know if they're doing this on purpose to eventually have it be bigger when she does win, but she comes so close every goddamn time to winning. But she loses. She was in the final two in the Rumble, lost. Final two in the Chamber, lost. Final two in this match, lost. It's like they're either doing that to build something up or they're just doing that to irritate the fans. But either way, a lot of people were irritated. I get what some people are saying about Becky winning. I hope Becky isn't a long-term champion, which I don't think she will be. Apparently, she was supposed to take some time off in WWE, kind of like what Moxley did with AEW, where they kind of had to panic and were like, yo, can you come be champion for a few months instead of taking time off? Sure, I got you. That's kind of what Becky did. So kudos to her for that. We'll see what it leads to. Maybe to be something good for Liv. I can only hope on that part.
I just want to point out, I just love that. To where like, hey, we know you're supposed to have some time off, but could you come in and get double your normal paycheck by being the champion for a little bit?
Yeah, it'd be hard to
I
pass
just
that
love
up.
that.
Yeah, Moxley did that too with AEW. I think when I think Punk got hurt actually. I think yeah.
Yeah, it was when Punk got hurt and Moxley was the quote-unquote interim champion.
Yeah, so hopefully Liv has a good reign in the future. But Goldberg, speaking of AEW, Goldberg made some comments about AEW. It's been rumored he wants one final match. The story is he told Vince, like, listen, I'll let Reigns beat me as long as you give me a retirement match. Vince went back on his word. Goldberg was apparently pissed off at Vince and said F Vince in the interview, screw him and all that. It was rumored Tony Khan was interested in bringing in Goldberg. And recently Goldberg said, I'm not interested. That product is cheesy. It's a cheesy product. So QJ, I'll start with you. What do you think of Goldberg's product or Goldberg's comments on the AEW product? And would you want to see him have a final match in that company?
That's the way Goldberg was. You know, I was just have his final match with WWE, and I mean, you gotta realize AEW is just people go there for good wrestling. Stories could be a little bit better, but just good wrestling. What other fans need to see on the other side of. Maybe this guy should be in the main picture, but I feel like a lot of fans don't see that other side of wrestling, the workhorse.
No, especially like WWE fans. I mean, there's a lot of workhorses in WWE. They don't really see it like on that level, but yeah, Goldberg would be an interesting choice for AEW. Chris, what do you think about Goldberg's comments and his potential fit if he did go to AEW for a final match?
He would not fit at all. Like, listen.
Why do you say that? Tears?
AEW is a totally different type of wrestling. Like, it's kind of like how we all say New Japan is for like the stiff hitting people. Like ZZW is for the God, I just want to bleed wrestling. WWE is for the showmanship. Would that be a good word to use for WWE? Showmanship and product.
Yeah, that's good.
AEW, like, love the product. Nobody take this as an insult, even though it can kind of be considered one. It's the one to go to see, like, crazy spots, crazy ideas, crazy fun. It's
and
a
lots
crazy
of no
fun.
selling. No offense to them, but lots of no selling on that roster.
Right,
Continue.
that too. Goldberg does not fit AEW style at all. He's probably just too used to like how WWE and slash that WCW wrestles. Like him going there is kind of like the equivalent of what's a good example? Making Hulk Hogan a primary wrestler for TNA. Gee, I wonder how that worked the first time.
Yeah, it would be a disaster.
Oh my god. And his comments, I'm gonna be honest, I'm just thinking of like the time period Goldberg was a wrestler. I can see why he would say that. Like a lot of old school, even like old school fans, like are saying like they don't like the product because well, it's just not the product that they grew up with. It's not the product that they grew up even doing either. So it's kind of just like one of those situations to where like I can't fault Goldberg's comment. I can't because he was a part of a different era. This is a whole different one. It's kind of like saying the Scott Hall versus Damian Priest. They're two different styles. Like, yeah, you can make an argument like both of them kind of are different types of era versions, but they're still two different types.
Yeah, it's all about like what you like and stuff, basically, or what like kind of clashing of styles and stuff. But I mean, I've never really been a big Goldberg guy. I always thought his matches were kind of boring. I'm not a fan of quick 2-minute matches. It's just not really my cup of tea. Some fans love the Goldberg streak and him dominating, and I know they did that with Asuka in NXT, and Jade Cargill did that in AEW. A lot of fans who like streaks. UnderTaker's streak. Streaks are awesome, but his matches weren't my cup of tea personally. But I mean, if you want to do a retirement match and Tony Khan pay him enough money, I could see him still going there. Money talks. Maybe if Tony Khan wants to draw some people in, like, hey, listen, it's Goldberg's final match. Come watch at the London show or whatever. Maybe, but
But who would he be going up against, though? Like, that's the thing. Like, you got to think, like, if he wants a retirement match, who's he going to have that retirement match with?
Yeah, it's hard to choose somebody who would have a good match with Goldberg on the AEW roster. Like, I don't know. I mean, that's some him and Tony Khan have to talk about. I honestly don't know. I was gonna make a joke and say Jericho because him and Jericho hate each other at one point, but that would
I
just be god
mean,
awful. Probably.
I don't know. Maybe they can pull something off.
Yeah, I mean, it'd only be like 2 minutes, 3 minutes anyway, so I guess they ain't going out there and having a 20-minute match between two 50-year-old, 60-year-old guys, but
Jericho, I could see something working with, actually.
yeah, so maybe Jericho. We'll see. I don't see him going there, but we'll see what happens in the future with that. WWE made a release, and well, they made a lot of releases this week. Apparently, it was all a Triple H call from the report. Cameron Grimes got released, and I'm a big Cameron Grimes fan. I thought he had a good personality. I thought he was a good worker. He was really over in NXT with the To the Moon and the $1 million title gimmick and everything. Tears, what do you think of him getting released, and where do you see him going or potentially doing now that he's out of WWE?
I'm so glad I remembered you were recording due to the fact, like, I was about to make an uncalled for joke. So I'm not going to. I'll say it after the video. But, it's one of those things to where that is a shocking one. I mean, like, yeah, the last time we talked about releases was with like Jinder Mahal being the biggest name, but then it was just like, he wanted to, so it was one of those things. But this is Cameron Grimes, but honestly, it's one of those things to where you got to think he can definitely survive outside of WWE, and WWE can survive without him, unfortunately. However, nothing can be said about the fact like they released Cameron Grimes, but there's still so many people on the roster that are still a part of the roster. Now, we don't know the whole story of how these people are still in WWE, why they're still in WWE, or even if they're happy or not there. Cameron Grimes, from the video that he released, seemed like he was happy in WWE. Like, that's the impression that we got, right?
Yeah, and while you're speaking that, I actually have a quote he said in the interview. He pretty much said, I was told by a high executive last week on Friday I would always have a job here in WWE. I would never have to worry about losing my job here after expressing my concerns like that to him. And then 5 days later, they called me and told me that I did lose my job. So I don't know. So he did want to be there and was happy there. And that's kind of some messed up stuff that they had him get destroyed by Braun Breaker and told him he wasn't going to lose his job in the same week. And the next week, yeah, you're gone. Bye.
Yeah, bad. That's really bad.
But yeah, you can continue with yours. I remember you mentioned he was happy there, and he made them comments like the day after, and it was just like it was tough. It's like, really, y'all released him after y'all told him he wasn't gonna get released, and y'all had him get jobbed out and then released him. Like, come on.
Like, the jobbed out part makes sense, unfortunately, because like you got to look at the role he had in WWE. It wasn't like him getting jobbed out was going to affect him that much, but at the same time, it's just like you can't just job him out and tell him he's gonna have a career and then just say nah. Like that, I understand why he's made the video and why he got emotional, because it's just like you can't just do that to a dude, man.
Yeah, it's really messed up. And who knows if that was Triple H who told him that? Maybe it was a Bruce Pritchard or a Nick Khan or one of the TKO board members. I don't know who told him that, but they really like that.
Sure, we'll have more information come out.
Yeah, hopefully. But QJ, what do you think about all? What do you think about Cameron Grimes' comments about him potentially being guaranteed a job there, and where do you see him going or doing after he got released?
Yeah, he'll be fine somewhere else, but it's like you can't trust these people. You always gotta have other things on the side. They promise you one thing, they just change things just like that. So these people don't have your best interests. Just remember, you're always replaceable.
Oh, everybody is 100%.
And not to knock on Cena, Reigns. I need everybody to go watch that clip when Miz said on Reigns and Cena on Raw when he was at IC title. He's tired of waiting for opportunities, and I need people to go watch that segment because he was roasting both of them. And the fans was agreeing with everything Miz was saying.
Oh, yeah, that
I
was a
need
really
people to
good
go
segment.
watch that.
Yeah, Miz did go crazy in that. Yeah, that was a really good segment. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, in the wrestling business, it's not about talent. It's about how well management likes you most of the time. That's the unfortunate part about it. But Cameron Grimes will be fine. TNA's my pick to where he goes. Maybe he'll be in New Japan. Who knows what he's going to do? I feel like TNA would be a good spot, but
I mean, he was
sucks
there
to go.
before he came to WWE.
Mm-hmm.
He was like one half of their tag team champions with Brian Myers, aka Kurt Hawkins, last time I watched.
And he's there now too, so maybe they could reunite that or something. That could be.
No, because Myers is with Moose, I believe.
Oh yeah, he is in that stable. Yeah. Well, hopefully Cameron Grimes finds a job somewhere. Well, he will find a job somewhere, but hopefully WWE release him don't hurt his confidence or nothing. So next, let's talk about Samantha Irving. And I've been hearing a lot of comments about her since WrestleMania. Fans complaining. There's a lot of fans who like Samantha Irving. Don't take this as a lot of fans hate her. There are that minority who hate her emotion and don't like her getting emotional on commentary and feel like she overdoes it. So QJ, I'll start with you. Do you mind Samantha Irving having emotion? What do you think about everybody criticizing her announcing and everything?
She's pretty good. Nothing wrong with her emotion. I mean, it's good that she don't want to see who wins. She wants to see just the outcome play out, not already knowing in your head who's gonna win. It makes it more exciting. We don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, it has more to it. I mean, I just feel like I feel like fans want robotic shit too much. Like they just want nobody to have emotion. They want all the commentators to be robots. They want all the broadcasts to be robots.
And it don't play out right.
No.
That's terrible.
Yeah, that's boring. Like she cares about wrestling. She's a fan. That's not a bad thing at the end of the day. So Tears, what do you think about it? All the criticism, well, not all the criticism, but some of the criticism from some fans about Samantha Irving's commentating. Or announcing, my bad. Announcing, commentating.
I personally don't understand it because, like, I like when they showed emotions. Like, look at Todd Grisham. Is that the one who goes superstar for Edge?
Yeah. Oh no, that was Tony Chimmel.
Tony Chimmel, thank you. I like when announcers have emotion when they like do their job because it also makes it feel like this isn't like as robotic as everybody, like you guys said, like apparently fans want. I like when they have emotion, like at WrestleMania when Cody won the title. She had a lot of emotion because we all felt that same way because it's just like, finally Cody, he finally won it, and we all got that feeling with her, and it made that whole moment also feel even better too because it's just like, dude, even the people working there are so happy that he won it.
Even Michael Cole was emotional calling it.
Yeah, I like moments like that to where like everybody's having a good time with it. If your announcer just feels bored out of their mind, like when a wrestler shows up or a wrestler wins a match, like I'm gonna be honest, I would love to have it to where like an announcer is mad at somebody winning the match, and you actually feel like, yeah, no, this person is vile because even the announcer hates them. Like that would be good.
Yeah, they do that a little bit with Dominic Mysterio and Michael Cole. Like Michael Cole's always like, "Screw Dominic, get this kid out of here. He's a bum," and all that. Like he kind of shows some of that with Dominic, which is always cool.
Commentary can't be the only ones to express that too, because here's the thing: people who are watching it on the TV, we're the only ones that hear what commentary is saying. The announcer is basically for the arena too. So if we're not able to tell by the emotion from the announcer, or at least like if we're there at the stadium or at the arena watching it, we don't get commentary. We get like just the announcer, and that's it.
Yeah, so it's good they show some emotion. Like it's okay she cares about her coworker and cares about her job. Like I know some fans just want everybody. I know some fans think all these people do is just walk out the curtain. They don't talk to each other backstage. They don't associate. They don't do anything. They just walk out there like robots. Don't talk to any of them. That's not realistic. Y'all are just watching a show. There's backstage. There's friendships. There's relationships. All that. And she cared about the moment. These are her coworkers. It's okay that she gives a fuck. It's okay. If y'all really are so concerned about that, maybe y'all should worry about your own life. Because I mean, that the fact that some are still whining and making TikTok videos and all this, it's just like, bro, I'm okay with expressing opinion, but Jesus, people are really making this a bigger deal than it needs to be. I mean, it is what it is. But next time, we're going to be talking about The Undertaker. He made some comments about the women's division in WWE, and he said they should look at adding mid-card women's titles. So, Tears, I'll start with you. What do you think about that idea? It's been a lot of people been talking about it for a while, that they should add a mid-card women's title. There's a lot of talented women on the roster. There's not enough spots, all that. What do you think about it?
I I don't hate the idea, and I do believe like there's enough women on WWE's roster to potentially do it, but at the same time, is there enough time on the card for it?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. They have so many other titles and everything. It's just like they don't even make time really for the women's tag titles, really like that.
Wait, are those still a thing?
Yeah, they're held by Asuka and Kyrie, I think.
Yeah, you're right. I was just making the joke.
Oh, I don't know. They're barely even put on the pay-per-views
Exactly, you
anymore.
didn't even
So.
know. That's the problem. It's the fact that even you didn't know. Like, would I like the idea? I can learn to be okay with it, but right now I think we just need to establish more things than just like, oh, we let's get new belts already. Like we just debuted new tag belts. I think we need a moment to, you know, have time to make those feel good too. Like, yeah, they still have the lineage of the old tag belts, but we also have the World Heavyweight Championship as well. Like, we're on our third person to hold the belt. I am counting Drew McIntyre as a run or reign with the belt. Damian Priest is just the third person to hold the belt. Like, we still need more time for that belt as well. To add two new no, we would have to have three new women's titles. I just
NXT
realized
too, I
that.
guess, if they do that, maybe. But.
Yeah, like we would have to have, and plus, what would they even be named? What the flip would these titles even be called?
No earthly idea.
Exactly, like this type of stuff. Like even if they were to like say, yeah, let's do it, this would take time for it to even happen because they would have to think of names. They would have to think of like who will be the first champions.
The
How would we even crown the
design,
champions?
everything. Like,
Oh
yeah.
my god, the designs! I can imagine the design. Well, the title designs have actually been pretty good lately. I can't lie
Triple H is
about
going with
that.
that retro feel for the titles, it seems like.
Yeah, like I noticed like he basically is just revamping old title designs, and I just realized in my head, oh my god, imagine if he brought back something that reminds us of the Divas belt. Oh my
I
god,
hope
that would
not.
be so good.
Don't think he
No,
would, though.
no, I retract my statement. I don't want it. I don't want it. Just
Yeah.
picturing that.
So before I get to QJ, I'll give my thoughts. Basically, I don't see the. I could see why some fans say that because there's a lot of women on the roster who haven't really gotten an opportunity, like Candice LeRae or somebody like that. But it's like Tier said, where's the match time? Where's the TV time for this? I mean, the tag title women's are barely even on pay-per-views. So it's like, is this going to be a title they put on regular shows? I could kind of get with that idea a little bit, but it's just. I don't really see the need personally. I could see the idea Undertaker's thinking because there's a lot of talented women, but I just don't see the room for it right now. Unless they just make it a regular show title that they just have showcased on Raw or SmackDown. But other than that, not really seeing the need. But QJ, what do you think about Undertaker's idea of women's mid-card titles?
Not a bit bad idea, but need the timing important.
Yeah, you have a lot of time. I mean,
Maybe we had somebody manage the division itself and like saying
Yeah.
like, okay, this is how much time we need on per show for my division, types of stuff like that.
yeah, like they have general managers and shit. Maybe they have like one of them. Like, okay, every week we're gonna give one match for this title every Raw. I mean, Raw is 3 hours. They can make the times
Well,
if they
I
wanted
don't mean
to.
like
But
a general manager. I just mean like somebody to actually like be booking the women's division, saying like, okay, I have this much time on the show. How am I gonna like divide it per like for the whole thing? Like, how am I gonna divide like Raw is 3 hours. I have an hour and 30 minutes to use for all the women's stuff. How am I gonna split this apart?
Oh yeah, I
stuff
get
like
what you're
that.
saying. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they could do something like that. We'll just have to see. I mean, I don't see it happening anytime soon. Like, they just introduced new tag title designs, and Priest just became champion. Cody just became champion. I feel like there's a lot of new right now, and you don't want to have too much new. Just like all crammed into one, and just like, okay, well, let's just overwhelm our audience and put new titles and new champions and all this. I get they're doing a brand split again, so they might do something with that, but just not a good time. But Finn Balor
Also,
re-signed. Oh, go ahead, Tears.
I was gonna say like it also is gonna force down your throat the whole new era shtick even more.
Yeah, they've been saying that a lot. I'm kind of glad they've been toning it down a little bit now, but yeah, it was getting very annoying. So Triple H re-signed one of his favorites, Finn Balor. He re-signed with WWE. Not sure on the years or the money, but he's probably getting paid a good amount. Finn's a very reliable hand to have around. So QJ, what do you think about Finn Balor re-signing with WWE, and what would you like to see him do down the line?
FinnBalor resigning. It's good, but I need him back in that main title picture. I
Could
need
be
to
him
bring
and
back that
Priest, like we
demon,
talked about.
demon form.
Yeah, I think Finn could get to that level again. I mean, if they do the him and Priest feud like we talked about last week, that could definitely be a possibility. I mean,
I mean, I wouldn't hate him being like a United States or Intercontinental Champion either. Just give him like we're definitely done with the whole tag team
I'd give him
thing
something.
between the two. Like, I think if the Judgment Day is to continue, also, like we can easily just make Dominic and JD the tag team of the group.
well, I think Dominic has an injury currently,
Oh,
so I don't know if I don't know what Judgment Day's gonna be doing. It seems like they're kind of beat up as a group. Apparently, JD McDonough got hurt too because Ricochet did like a splash and landed around his head and broke his lip, or not his lip, but like gave him a bloody nose or something. So Judgment Day's just been having a very rough time with injuries lately, unfortunately. But I mean, I don't know what the plan for Finn is. I mean, I made a TikTok about it the other day and had a lot of comments, and one dude, and it had a lot of likes. He was saying that Finn should win King of the Ring because they're doing the King of the Ring again, which Gunther's in that tournament, so Gunther's my pick. 'Cause I don't see Gunther getting pinned in that tournament. But
Nope.
and then someone said he should bring back Demon Balor. That also had a lot of likes, which I mean, I don't
Mm-hmm.
mind Demon Balor. It just depends when and what they bring him back for. But did y'all like him as King of the Ring or Demon Balor? Would y'all like any of those ideas for Finn?
I feel like it's too cheesy to not do it to where like the Demon King when it's the King of the
Demon.
Ring. Like that sounds
That'd be fun.
so horrible that it also sounds perfect.
It'd be something. I mean,
And plus,
I
if
don't know.
it's Gunther versus Balor to be the finals, ooh, that sounds good.
That would be very good. I think the final's going to be Dragunov and Gunther because fans have been clamoring for that rematch between those two. I mean, that's all I keep hearing about. So maybe that's what they end up doing.
But would they do that just for the King of the Ring? Because here's the thing: nobody takes the King of the Ring serious.
I feel like Triple H he might try to make it more important. Like,
Eh,
I don't know if they're doing it as a paper. They're probably just doing it on regular shows and probably have like the finals on a pay per view or something. But
maybe I don't know.
I'm not. To me, if you win King of the Ring, like you should get something. Like yeah, you get the King title, but is it really that important? I mean, we had King Woods and King Corbin. Like, is it really that big of a deal winning it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the fan perspective of the King of the Ring is far different than what the company's perspective of the King of the Ring is. Like
Yeah.
I I just don't see the fans wanting like their rematch to be the King of the Ring. I feel like they want it to be like a title match or maybe even like a big feud, something like that. Like something that ends on one of the major pay-per-views or shows, whatever they're called. I always forget.
Yeah, something like that would be like more relevancy to it. I mean, we'll have to see. But pretty much my thoughts on Finn re-signing. He's a reliable hand. Could put him in any program unless you hate Finn. Really shouldn't be an issue. I mean, he could be a mid carder. He could be a tag champion. He could be a main. He could be put in a world title match. You wouldn't be mad at it. Like he's just a reliable hand to have around for the company. Tiers, what do you think about him re-signing? Your overall thoughts?
Oh, simple. It's pretty well. Like, he's good for the company and all that. Like, he is one of those, like, very reliable individuals. He's good as a heel, good as a face. He has that lovable smile, but he also has that most punchable face at the same time.
Yeah. And you wouldn't know he's in his
It-
40s either. He looks very youthful for his age. Not that 40's that old, but he looks very youthful. For sure.
Right. He's always fun to just have in the ring as well. And
Yeah,
for
he's a
that
good
comment
worker.
that says like to those who don't like Finn, I was gonna say you must have a terrible father.
Well, apparently
Man.
some of them say he has no charisma. That's their gripe with Finn.
I have
He's a
heard a
charisma
lot about
vacuum.
that.
Yeah, he don't have
Like
much
I
charisma.
will say my main negative about Finn Balor is like his tone in his promos. He does not switch his tone at all.
No, it's always just kind of plain, mellow tone. Type.
Yeah, like I can get the promo aspect that people say about him though.
Yeah, I could get that.
It's like with Ricochet, they just need they're from. Do I really want to just go with like instant like oh they're from New Japan, they don't have to worry about promos? Do I really want to be that guy?
I guess you can be, but
I don't know. It's just the fact like they don't have to rely on promos there, and they had not more success, just a great amount of success to be noticed from there.
just gotta have good work and you can get noticed. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna
I
add a
don't know.
topic. The WWE Draft is going on right now, and QJ, I'll start with you. Do you like the draft concept, or is it kind of overdone? Do you like brand splits? Do you just want it where everybody wrestles wherever? What do you think about them doing the brand split this week?
I like brand splits because it brings back. I feel like it gives more people moments, more time in the ring. They could kind of show out a little bit more, be a little bit more relevant.
Definitely, 100%. Yeah, I wish apparently they brought up the Triple H doing brand exclusive pay-per-views again and never went anywhere. I don't know if they're gonna end up doing that. I love that idea because it kind of gave more people pay-per-view time and kind of made it more, I guess, storylines more important for pay-per-views because you saw guys like you would normally see on a pay-per-view. So, Tears, what do you think about the brand split? Are you a fan, or what's your overall thoughts?
I'm a fan of it when it feels like it's gonna matter, cause like what was the last draft?
I think like a year or two ago. It was when Vince was still involved, so it kind of meant nothing, basically.
Yeah, cause like I like when it means something. Like all the storylines are in their own shows, not like put here, but you also have to mention it here. Like I wanted to feel like when I first started watching wrestling, to where like this show has these certain superstars, this show has these certain superstars, and they are stuck on those shows for an entire year, and you're not going to see them on the other show for any reason. You're not even going to see them on the pay-per-view. You're not even going to hear the other show talk about the other show. That's what I want. I want it to feel like two different entities, as it's supposed to.
Pretty much like a
But
brand war type, kind of. Not a brand
pretty
war,
much,
but
just two different companies under the same
basically,
umbrella.
Yeah. Because
Um,
that superstar shake-up shit Vince used to irritate me. Like, oh
Yeah,
yeah, we just did a
that-
draft, but LA Knight's on SmackDown. You can have 3 superstars from SmackDown appear on this show. Like, why even do a damn draft then? So irritating.
Right. And that's what I miss. And the whole pay-per-view thing, I would like that too, because it gives like other superstars more time on the shows. Well, I was about to mention something. I just can't remember. Oh God, I feel so bad because it was a good topic, but I can't remember.
Well, maybe we'll either come back to you this episode or next week's episode.
Maybe.
But for me with the draft, I like it. Just hope they stick to it. Gonna probably watch SmackDown after this, the rerun of it on Fox or whatever, see who got drafted where. I know Carmelo Hayes went to SmackDown, which I'm a huge Carmelo Hayes fan. I think he was facing Cody in the main event tonight, which hopefully they let them get a little bit of time and put on a good show.
I know my boy Braun is on SmackDown as well. Seems like SmackDown is.
Oh, he got drafted there? Or has he just been like...
I think he was already signed to, like, he had the contract. Like, he got the call-up, and then we had weeks of seeing him to be, like, the newest signee for SmackDown.
Oh, okay. Maybe he's already on there. Maybe he's, like, already, like, exclusively on that show. I know Reigns is, like, pulled himself from the draft, apparently. Heyman's, I don't know if that means Reigns is going to be just, like, not a part of the... I don't know, but...
I think he's currently just not signed to a show. I think
Yeah,
that's how it's
probably,
gonna
because
be
he won't be
seen.
around for a minute anyways.
Yeah, whenever he comes back, then it'll be like this huge deal. We're like, what show is he gonna sign to? Is he gonna sign to the show with his Universal Championship, or is he gonna sign on Raw, the most must-see show?
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense. Apparently, WWE's PG era is over. And
We'll see
once they
about
move to
that.
Netflix, it's officially like over. So we'll see.
Okay, in that case, I could
Yeah.
see that because, well, also to
Because
the
Netflix doesn't have
PG,
to censor shit and everything. Like, if The
right?
Rock's cussing and stuff.
But nowadays PG is so different than what it used to be as well.
Yeah, we'll have to see what direction they go. Apparently, they're not planning on like overdoing it and have like blood all the time and all that stuff. So we'll have to see.
I mean, hopefully we'll at least get like a little sprinkle, just a little something, a little work. Not Ric
Yeah.
Flair work, but like the Batista Chris Jericho cage match.
Yeah, that was something. It was
The
hard to
one that
see.
Batista
I
got
mean,
$5,000 for.
oh yeah, that was crazy. It's hard to see. I mean, I did enjoy the Rock beat down to Cody. I feel like WWE kind of got away from doing stuff like that. It just became a program where you just kind of had people come out and do matches. There was no backstage attacks or anything that were like meaningful. Like maybe you'd see somebody get attacked in an interview, that was it. But it was good to see something like that. So hopefully they continue more of that. Final topic is an interesting one I thought of. Do we sometimes appreciate something after it's over? And that's really with a lot of stuff, but especially with wrestling. Tears, I'll start with you. Is that like take Reigns for example? A lot of people are appreciating him now that he lost, but they hate his title reign. Like, you agree that's a thing in wrestling a lot of the time?
Oh yeah, 100%. Like it's one of those situations to where like yeah, you can hate why you're a part of it, but when you see like it as a whole, like beginning, why you suffered through the middle, and then you finally get the relief of the end, it's kind of like a movie. Like you can say like this movie sucks because the main villain just always seems to win. However, at the end when the hero does win, oh geez, I wonder what comparison I'm doing here. Like you just feel so good about it as well. So I would say yeah, the Reigns one is a good example. I would also say a good example like um I
The
guess
Shield, maybe. I feel like a lot of people didn't really like the Shield, and then well, a lot of people liked them, but like now a lot of more people appreciate them more than they did when they were
yeah,
like,
I could say the Shield. That's actually a good example as well. Like yeah, I could totally agree with that.
yeah, stuff like that. It's like stuff we go went and appreciate. You. What about you? Do you think that's a thing with wrestling fans? We appreciate something after it's gone more than in the moment. Sorry about that, everybody. We are back. QJ was going to answer the question about WWE or just wrestling in general. Do we appreciate something more when it's gone? QJ, do you agree with that about wrestling fans? That we sometimes appreciate something more after than in the moment?
Yeah, definitely, bro.
Yes, it seems like, especially with Reigns, I feel like a lot of fans hate on him now. Everybody's like, "Oh yeah, we miss Reigns, or we appreciated Reigns, or we need him, or whatever." It's just like Jim Cornette says, "How can I miss you if you can't go away?" Sometimes people just need a break. So it's good that Reigns is.
That's a good point.
Yeah. So, any final thoughts, tears, before we wrap this episode up?
I think I'm good on my end.
Same. QJ, what about you? Any final thoughts?
Pretty good.
I appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll see y'all next week.